heard the reading of the letter dated October 3rd from Christopher Petrozzi, Urban Projects Director of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Hearing no objections, it will be ordered into the record. Hearing no objections, it is so ordered. Madam Clerk.
Dear members of City Council, at its regular meeting of October 3rd, 2016, a public hearing was held by the Steubenville Planning and Zoning Commission with regard to the above referenced petition and ordinance. After comment and discussion, the Commission voted unanimously to send a positive recommendation to City Council with regards to the proposed creation of the Whitehaven Neighborhood Conservation District, including the 3,000 and 3,100 lots of Whitehaven Boulevard in their entirety. Attached to City Council's consideration is a copy of the staff report prepared regarding the above. I request that City Council take into consideration the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission with regard to the above. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me sincerely through City Department Attorney or Vice Chairperson.
You heard the reading of the letter dated October 4th, 2016 from Teresa DeContonio, Vice Chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Hearing no objections, it will be ordered into the record. Hearing no objections, it is so ordered. You heard the third and final reading of ordinance number 2016-73. Is there anyone wishing to speak on it? Please come forward, state your name and address. No, members of council.
Question?
Roll call.
Mr. Romano?
Aye.
Mr. Romano?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Timmons?
Aye.
So moved. Ordinance number 2016-73 duly adopted. And I will apologize, we should have did this at the beginning of the meeting, but Mr. Paul.
Yes, Your Honor. I move that we deviate from the rules and pull forward resolution number, 2016-185, or 85, resolution 2016-86, and resolution resolution 2016-87. Second. Thank you.
It's been really moved and seconded that we deviate from the rules and pull forward resolution number 2016-85, resolution number 2016-86, and resolution number 2016-87. Mr. Paul, can we also read those in their entirety and amend your?
Oh, yes, Your Honor, I forgot to say that, I'm sorry. Yes, we can, Your Honor. Excuse me.
So moved. Roll call.
Mr. Romano?
Aye.
Mr. DeLoretto?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Timmons?
Aye.
So moved. We will deviate from the rules and pull forward resolution number 2016-85, 86, and 87. Resolution number 2016-85 by council as a whole.
Resolution number 2016-85, a resolution proclaiming the week of October 9th through 15th, 2016 as Fire Prevention Week. Whereas the city of Steubenville is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and live near Steubenville, and whereas fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes where people are at greatest risk from fire, and whereas U.S. Fire Departments responded to 369,500 home fires in 2014, according to the National Fire Protection Association, and whereas U.S. home fires resulted in 2,745 civilian deaths in 2014, representing the majority, 84% of all U.S. fire deaths. Whereas in 1/3 of all homes with smoke alarms, the smoke alarms are not working. And whereas 3 out of 5 home fire deaths result from fires in properties without smoke alarms, 38%, or with no working smoke alarms, 21%. And whereas working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying from reported home fires in half. And whereas many Americans don't know how old the smoke alarms are in their home or how often they need to be replaced. And whereas all smoke alarms should be replaced at least once every 10 years. And whereas the age of a smoke alarm can be determined by the date of manufacture, which is marked on the back of the smoke alarm. Whereas Steubenville's first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education. And whereas Steubenville's residents are responsive to public education measures and are able to take personal steps to increase their safety from fire, especially in their homes. And whereas the 2016 Fire Prevention Week theme, "Don't Wait, Check the Date," replace smoke alarms every 10 years, effectively serves to educate the public about the vital importance of replacing the smoke alarms in their homes at least every 10 years, and to determine the age of their smoke alarms by checking the date of manufacture on the back of the alarms. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Steubenville, County of Jeff 2016. That the clerk of this council shall present a certified copy of this resolution to Fire Chief Carlo Capaldi on behalf of the Steubenville Fire Department, and that this resolution shall take effect and be in full force immediately upon its passage and approval by council, otherwise at the earliest period allowed by law.
Mr. Clark.
Yes, Your Honor. I move that we adopt resolution number 2016-85 by roll call.
Second.
It's been regularly moved and seconded that resolution number 2016-85 be adopted by roll call. Roll call.
Mr. Bonagno.
Aye.
Mr. Gilberto.
Aye.
Mr. Dressel.
Aye.
Mrs. Collins.
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
So moved. Resolution number 2016-85 duly adopted. Mr. Paul, would you please
Yes,
come
Your Honor.
forward? Chief,
Yes, Your
Richard
Honor.
has come forward, and I noticed there's some other firefighters in the audience also. Would you like to come on also?
Come on up. Chief, it's a pleasure every year to present you this resolution in your men. Remember last week I couldn't remember. It's don't wait, check the date. Yeah, every year they have a theme. In the mill, we also have this. Is October is always Fire Prevention Month for us, and then we go by the week also. But we try to always make sure that everybody understands the theme. The theme always is pretty appropriate for Fire Prevention Week. And Chief, I'd like to honor you or present that to you guys. You guys do a great job. This is what I was reading. It's my idiot card.
Look for your big card.
You want money?
No. Thank you very much. As I always say, fire safety and fire prevention are very important to our mission. Every fire we can prevent is one that we don't have to respond to. Every fire that we prevent is one where someone doesn't lose property, get hurt, or possibly lose their life. Our inspection bureau does a very good job. They're always available. The guys at the stations go around with the inspection bureau to do fire safety events at schools and at the different parks and rec functions too. So on behalf of all of these guys and the rest of the department, thank you.
Chief, I would also like to extend my thanks to the Steubenville firefighters for a job well done, not only today or yesterday, but 365 days a year. With that, we will now move into resolution number 2016-86 by council as a whole.
Resolution number 2016-86, a resolution for taking October 2016 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month and October 21st, 2016 as National Mammography Day. Whereas 2016 marks more than 32 years that National Breast Cancer Awareness Month has educated women about early breast cancer detection, diagnosis, and treatment. And whereas this year, the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month began reaching out to women with several key messages, most notably the importance of early detection for annual mammography screening for women over 40. Whereas mammography screenings are a woman's best chance for detecting breast cancer early. And whereas when coupled with new treatment options, mammography screenings can significantly improve a woman's chances of survival. And whereas Women in Action Coalition of Jefferson County was formed in 1994 under the National Cancer Institute Program of Appalachian Leadership on Cancer to promote awareness of breast cancer through education. And whereas the cause of breast cancer is still unknown and the most producing cancer deaths are through a combination of self-examination, clinical breast examination, and mammography. And whereas the Women in Action Against Cancer Coalition's mission is to enhance grassroots efforts to help residents of Steubenville and Jefferson County to become aware of when and where to seek early detection, assistance with care, and financing. Now therefore be resolved by the Council of the City of Steubenville, County of Jefferson, State of Ohio, that this council does hereby proclaim October 2016 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month and October 21st, 2016 as National Mammography Day throughout the city of Steubenville and Jefferson County in conjunction with national observances. That this council will encourage all citizens to take the opportunity to observe this month and day in ways appropriate to
It's been really moved and seconded that resolution number 2016-86 be adopted by roll call. Roll call?
Mr. Belenga?
Aye.
Mr. DeLoreto?
Aye.
Mr. Gressel?
Aye.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Paul?
Aye.
Mr. Simmons?
Aye. So moved. Resolution number 2016-86 duly adopted. There's no one here this evening to present the resolution to. However, breast cancer wreath ceremony will take place on October 19th, 2016, in our community at the K. Karabi Community Room, which is next to Manford's on Sunset in Steubenville. And that will be the 20th annual breast cancer awareness wreath ceremony held in our community. The ceremonies will take place from 6 to 6:45 p.m. that day, and we'll start off with a prayer. The national anthem will be led by Dr. Thomas Graham, welcoming remarks by Jimmy Manford, a whole list of activities. However, the resolution from Steubenville City Council will be presented at 6:10 that day. All ceremonies should be concluded by 6:45 that day. So we encourage all of our citizens to attend that event again on October 19th. With that, we will now move on to resolution number 2016-87 by council as a whole.
Resolution number 2016-87, a resolution of commendation to Barbara Walensky. Whereas city resident Barbara Walensky has received the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network's National Volunteer Award for Excellence in Advocacy for her efforts to help make cancer a national priority. And whereas the award was presented on September 11th in Washington, D.C. as part of the annual ACS-CAN Leadership Summit and Lobby Day. Whereas Barbara Walensky has been a tireless volunteer and dedicated champion of ACS-CAN's legislative priorities, and because of volunteers like Barbara Walensky, the ACS-CAN is making tremendous progress towards strong and effective policy to reduce suffering and death from cancer in Ohio and nationally. And whereas Barbara Walensky worked as a volunteer with the American Cancer Society and ACS-CAN for more than 10 years before her retirement in 2014. She held several volunteer leadership positions, including Ambassador and Constituent Team Leader for Ohio's 6th District, the Advocacy Chair of the Relay for Life of Jefferson County, and as a member of the Jefferson County Volunteer Leadership Council, the East Central Division Board, and the ACS-CAN National Board. And whereas Barbara Walensky has a collection of more than 10,000 ACS-CAN healthy policy petitions. Since 2005, she has recruited more than 1,500 members and raised more than $40,000 for the network. And whereas Barbara Walensky is a grassroots champion, according to officials, she has advocated for ACS-CAN's policies through ongoing contact with congressional offices and the state representative's office and state senator's office. And whereas her ability to convey the personal struggles of many family members with cancer gained the attention of elected officials at every level. She has worked on numerous successful state and federal policy campaigns, including colorectal cancer screening legislation, funding for breast and cervical cancer of Ohio's Smoke-Free Act. Even after retirement, Barbara Walensky is still willing to pitch in when needed. And whereas Barbara Walensky has been involved with the Cancer Society for 25 years, and whereas Barbara Walensky has been active through the years on numerous ACS boards, her resume includes ACS Ohio Division State Board Member, ACS Jefferson County Unit President and Treasurer, ACS National Assembly, ACS National ACS-CNA Board, and the ACS East Central Division Board. And whereas Barbara Walensky has also received the Ohio Division Capital Dome Award, National Advocacy Award, the Ohio Division St. George Award, and the East Central Division Volunteer of the Year Award. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Steubenville, County of Jefferson, State of Ohio, that this council does hereby commend and express its sincere congratulations to Barbara Walensky on receiving the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network's National
Yes, Your Honor. I make a motion that resolution number 2016-87 be adopted by roll call.
It's been regularly moved and second that resolution number 2016-87 be adopted by roll call. Roll call?
Mr. Bonanno?
Aye.
Mr. Deloretto?
Aye.
Mr. Dressel?
Aye.
Mrs. Hahn?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Timmons?
Aye.
So moved. Resolution number 2016-87 fully adopted. Mr. Paul, will you please come forward? And tonight we do have the distinct honor of having Barb with us, and of course, your better half, Rich. Rich, will you come up also? Rich, you could come up. Barb, I want you to know that last week when this was talked about in Sunshine, I requested that everybody wear purple tonight. So I want to thank Chuck Murphy for wearing purple.
And
Oh,
I
and Mr. Paul.
You took away my thunder. I was going to say, when did you start wearing purple? This was in honor of you. I did this in honor of you. Hey, if it wasn't for you, your determination, your tenacity, and your hard work, and everything that you do, that $40,000 means a lot to me. I mean, just you alone, just doing everything you do for cancer. You're a great lady,
Well, thank
and
you.
you deserve the award.
And thank you, and I thank council for this resolution, and I will cherish it. Thank you.
I think it goes without saying, the work you do for the American Cancer Society and cancer in general is a small part of what you actually do for our community. Your involvement in so many committees and your dedication and hard work is really, really appreciated, not only by this administration and this council, but our citizens. Thank you for being with us. We will now move to ordinance number 2016-82 for its third reading by the Finance Committee. Mr. Paul, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Griffin.
Ordinance number 2016-82, an ordinance establishing the credit card policy.
Here is the third reading of ordinance number 2016-82. Is there anyone wishing to speak on it? Please come forward, state your name and address. If not, members.
Question?
Roll call.
Mr. Bonanno?
Aye.
Mr. Deloretto?
Aye.
Mr. Dressel?
Aye.
Mrs. Hahn?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Timmons?
Aye.
So moved. Ordinance number 2016-82 duly adopted. Ordinance number 2016-83 by the Finance Committee. Mr. Paul, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Dressel for its second reading.
Ordinance number 2016-83, an ordinance authorizing and directing the approval of expenditures without a purchase order over $3,000 pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 5705.41.
Here is the second reading of ordinance number 2016-83. The third and final reading will be held next week on October 11th. Ordinance number 2016-84 by the Finance Committee.
Ordinance number 2016-84, an ordinance authorizing the auction of motor vehicles no longer needed for municipal purposes and declaring an emergency.
You heard the reading of ordinance number 2016-84. Is there anyone wishing to speak on it? Please come forward, state their name and address. And the reason I'm calling for public comments is this, as it was stated, is an emergency, so we'll go directly to it.
Question?
Roll call.
Mr. Bonanno?
Aye.
Mr. Deloretto?
Aye.
Mr. Dressel?
Aye.
Mrs. Hahn?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Timmons?
Aye.
So moved. Ordinance number 2016-84 duly adopted. That will conclude the ordinances and resolutions before City Council this evening. We will now move into the report of committees, and we'll start off with Mr. Bill Magna.
Yes, ma'am. I have three here. First one is I'm requesting from the mayor, I'm requesting your approval to appoint the following persons to the Parks and Recreation Board. Garfield Hayden, 997 McKinley Avenue, term to expire 2021.
Second.
It's been regularly moved and second that Mr. Garfield Hayden of 997 McKinley Avenue, term to expire 2021, to be appointed to the Parks and Recreation Board. Roll call.
Mr. Romano?
Aye.
Mr. Delarado?
Aye.
Mr. Driscoll?
Aye.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
No. May I explain, Your Honor? Or do you want me to wait?
Let's finish the
Okay.
roll call.
No.
Because I'm going to explain to you.
Mr. Timmons?
Aye.
So moved, Mr. Garfield Hayden will be appointed to the Parks and Recreation Board. Mr. Hall?
Yes, Your Honor. By no way was this a vote against Mr. Hayden. In fact, we call Leo in the mill. I work with Mr. Leo. He is a co-worker. But it's not a vote against Mr. Hayden. This is a vote in support of Sandy Road. I think she could help us on the Recreation Committee, but that's my vote.
And Mr. Paul,
Yes, sir.
I will follow up your remarks. As everybody knows, I make recommendations to a lot of boards and commissions. Normally, I approach the members of council or the appointing authority to build up consensus to make sure not to embarrass anybody. I did lobby for Mrs. Rue to be reappointed. I could not build up enough consensus with the members of council. However, there are other people within our community that was interested, and Garfield Hayden will do an excellent job on the Parks and Recreation Board, and that's why I recommended that name to City Council. But thank you for your remarks, Mr. Paul.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Bill Knight.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm also requesting council approval to reappoint the following person to the Parks and Recreation. Billy Ellis, 2937 Whitehaven Boulevard, term to expire 2021.
Second.
It's been very moved and seconded that Billy Ellis be reappointed to the Parks and Recreation Board, address 2937 Whitehaven Boulevard, term to expire 2021. Roll call.
Mr. Romano?
Aye.
Mr. Delarado?
Aye.
Mr. Driscoll?
Aye.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Timmons?
Aye.
So moved. Mr. Ellis will be reappointed to the Parks and Recreation Board, term to expire 2021. Mr. Billman.
Yes, Mayor. And the last one is requesting your approval to appoint the following person to the Board of Library Trustees to fulfill the unexpired term of Michael Turntine. Lori Sullivan of 4510 Fairway Drive, term to expire 2017.
Second.
It's been regularly moved and seconded that Lori Sullivan of 4510 Fairway Drive be appointed to the Public Library Board to fill the unexpired term of Michael Turntine, term to expire 2017. Roll call.
Mr. Romano?
Aye.
Mr. Delarado?
Aye.
Mr. Driscoll?
Aye.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Timmons?
Aye. So moved, motion carried. Anything further, Mr. Bill Magna?
That's all we see.
Thank you, Mr. Bill Magna. Mr. Diaretta?
I got one report. I've been told by Larry Tomaselli to use these microphones since we paid for them. Service Committee, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to advertise for bids in accordance with law for the purchase of necessary supplies for use in the service department and to provide for a contract for the purchase of said materials for the year 2017, authorizing the right to reject any and all bids, authorizing entering into contracts and payment thereof. Waive the second and third readings, so it's emergency, Mr. Paul. It's okay?
That's fine.
Thank you. That's
Well,
all
it
I
won't be an emergency, you're just waiving the second and third reading, so. Anything further, Mr. Diaretta?
That's it. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Diaretta. We'll move on to Mr. Dressel.
Nothing.
Thank you, Mr. Dressel. Mrs. Horn?
No report this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Horn. Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor. 3 items out of planning. Sunshine and ordinance creating the Lexington Drive and Whitehall Drive Neighborhood Conservation District. An ordinance creating the Arden Avenue Neighborhood Conservation District. An ordinance creating the 3100 and 3200 blocks of Sunset Boulevard, even number side of the street. 3100 block of Portland Boulevard, odd number of side of the street. 3200 block of Portland, 128 and 129 Nagley Avenue, Lane Street, and Water Street in their entire conservation district.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Chris, you'll provide me with the dates. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. We'll move on to Mr. Paul.
Yes, Your Honor, I have one item. I would like to call a Finance Committee meeting next week at October 11th at 6 p.m. And I would like for Chuck Murphy, Lisa, Dave Lewis, who else did we send one? You weren't here. I think that's the one, right? That was just the three we needed? Okay. Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
And that was at 6 p.m.
6 p.m., yes, sir.
Committee meeting, the clerk will facilitate the proper notice October 11th at 6 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Paul. We'll move on to Mr. Timmons.
Nothing to see.
Thank you, Mr. Timmons. That will conclude the report of committees from the members of council. We will now move into the report of the administrative officer, and we'll start off with our city manager, Mr. Mather.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank our departments, Police Department, Chief McCafferty, our Fire Chief, Capaldi, and his men. For the last 2 days, we've been preparing for the visit of President Clinton. A lot of the citizens don't realize what goes into this. What makes it difficult is what's going on in our nation today and the senseless killings that happen. Our fire department did an exemplary job today. We had one citizen go down, passed out in the center of the crowd. They immediately responded and took the person out of there to the hospital for treatment. ASI was there. I can't thank them enough for the manpower and equipment that they supplied. Also, we had to call upon the city of Columbus, Ohio for bomb dogs. They supplied 2 bomb dogs that came up. And again, we called upon the city of Wheeling for their bomb dog. So this is the second time they responded to one of our requests. We had to completely clear Harding Middle School out. Once it was done, it was shut down. So basically, the whole school property was a sanitized area and locked down until they let the visitors come in. The best part is they came in, he left with no incident there. And that's the best thing that you can hope for. The city has gone through enough with issues that have happened here that have been blown out of proportion, and we can't afford that. And again, I can tell all of you here, rest assured, your police department, fire department, and other agencies we call upon. The sheriff's department was instrumental to additional manpower there. So when you have this cooperation, there isn't anything we can't deal with in this community. So again, I thank all of you, and I thank our outside people that helped us. And Mayor, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Madison. As you well know, I got involved with today's event also. Truly, the Clinton staff and the advanced team, along with the Secret Service, appreciate your hard work and dedication. It was a perfect fit for you today. In fact, when I arrived at the city building earlier today, I asked our secretary where you were at, and she gave me that look, and I says, I don't think I need to guess where he's at. He's probably at the school. And she goes, you're right. And I says, that's a perfect match with you being with a lot of your fellow colleagues also. So they do appreciate your hard work and your insight into security today. So thank you. Mr. Thurman.
When you saw the city manager, did he have a baseball hat on instead of city manager?
No.
Because I bought him that hat, he has it more than If we could follow up with maybe sending the Columbus Police Department and these agencies thank you cards to the chiefs of the departments.
Perfect idea. The clerk will facilitate. Mr. Mavras, I think, to provide the contact or addresses.
Thank you.
It's an excellent suggestion. Thank you, Mr. Bill Magna. We will now move on to our law director, Mr. Rapella.
No report, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Rapella. And once again, we would like to thank the department heads for attending tonight's council meeting. With that, we will now move into public forum. I'm sorry, we have one under miscellaneous, Mrs. Horn.
Okay, I just wanted to mention, I wanted to mention that this coming Saturday is actually homecoming up at Franciscan University. And I know there's people in this room that have never even gone up on campus, but you are welcome. The whole city is welcome to come up. There's a special mass in honor of St. Francis earlier, but from noon to 5, there is an entire I don't even know how to describe it. There are all kinds of activities for children, games. There's a huge tent of all kinds of different foods. Because it's the time period of St. Francis, there's a medieval costume competition for children. There'll be all kinds of people performing and lots of arts and crafts, and it's a really, really wonderful day. And I don't know if the word gets out well enough, so I just wanted to mention it, and I hope you'll consider coming up, especially if you have young children. I think they would really enjoy it. And it's just a beautiful atmosphere. Lots of the students dress up in medieval costume, and they run the games, and they do the different contests, and it really is a lot of fun. So if you're free Saturday, please consider coming up to Francis.
Thank you, Ms. Owen. That will conclude the miscellaneous reports from the members of council. We will now move to public forum. Is there anyone wishing to speak to city council on city business? Please come forward, state your name and address.
Yeah, Frank Laker, 3975 Argonne. I just had that housing conservation passed tonight. I just want to thank the city, Mike Johnson, for getting the ball rolling on it. And if it's good if it only gets enforced, like you say, Chris Petrazzi and Bob, and special thanks, Chris. You can tell Karen I bugged her about the 6 times. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak to city council on city business? Please come forward, state their name and address.
Dave Sullivan, 4510 Fairway Drive, and just wanted to add a few comments regarding Chief Capoli's report that we heard earlier today. And just comment to see it's a nice crowd down here tonight. And we're all in this room tonight, and generally week in and week out, because we want to do some things to make Steubenville a better town, regardless of what side of issues you are on other things. But we're really all here to make this place better. And when you're putting an organization together or analyzing a business or a town, many of you might understand that you look at 4 things: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And from what I heard from Chief Capoli tonight, I'm going to categorize his department as a strength. It's in the top 9% departments from an independent agency countrywide that is outstanding. We have very, very low overtime for comparable cities of our size, and I think we're very efficient. I think the guys are very passionate about their jobs, and our response times are good, and I just think it is the strength of our community. Okay, I don't want to get long-winded here, but I've just got a couple things to say. And I don't think that you want to take a strength of your community and turn it onto the weakness side of your community, because we do have some areas where we need to improve upon, and there are opportunities and there are other threats out there. But don't take a strong department that is pretty squared away and delivers their services in with a budget that you hopefully you can work with. And I just don't want to see any of that, go down that route. So if you have, as a council, and I appreciate what the council does here, you just, thank you for your time and your thoughts. Let's keep our strengths in our community, our strengths, and that's all I really got to say. And I appreciate, the effort of everybody in this room that takes the time out to try to make our community a little bit better, and hopefully it'll move forward. There you go.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak to city council on city business? Please come forward and state their name.
I do.
and address.
Go ahead, Mary Liz.
I'm Mary Lou Ressinal, and I represented Whitehaven, and I wanted to thank our city fathers and lady for passing the ordinance, and thank you, Chris, for your help keeping Steubenville nice. That was our whole motto, to keep us a good neighborhood too. Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak to city council on city business? Please come forward, state their name and address.
John Mashio, 567 Great Garden. Some questions I have really, they're kind of in the nature of a complaint. favorite topics, streets, for example. I don't understand why we have never embarked on a crack sealing program. To my knowledge, Cleveland Avenue, Jones Street, we got crack sealed this year, and I don't go everywhere, but I go to a lot of streets. Jim asked me a few weeks ago which streets I might have had in mind, and I mentioned some of them, Johnson Road, for example, to the hospital. I really think that's a street that ought to be looked at and maintained in top condition. St. Charles Drive, which also connects to the hospital and is a main access for the people who work there, visit there. There are portions of Sunset that could have been done. There are portions of John Scott Highway that didn't be done, especially at Sunset and John Scott Highway. It's not just maintaining the streets, it's an economic boon to the city. If you maintain them and extend the life, you're saving money with the repairs that you have to do in the future. We never do it, and I don't understand why. You go up Washington Street, when you get up by the ambulance service, there's this ice bump where the asphalt is raised up. Now, that's been there for weeks, months, really. I don't know why we couldn't have leveled that off and fixed it. It can't be that much to go ahead and take care of it. If you're in that right-hand lane and you're going up there, boom, hit that thing and you bounce over. And that thing should have been taken care of. Opal Boulevard in Wilma. That intersection was dug up months ago. I think for a water line break. When is it going to be repaired? Anybody got an answer?
Soon.
Soon. What soon? You have the entire street is with just fill. That's all it is. And you can't miss it, no matter how you drive up or down that street. And there's no excuse to leave it in that condition for as long as it's been there. I can understand temporarily until it settles. I'm surprised that people in Oakland haven't been down here screaming. I mean, that is terrible. I don't live there, but I drive over. And that should have been taken care of a long time ago. Weed spraying. I brought this up before. Bob tells me that he can't get it done because his men have to have some type of a permit. That is not correct. If he has the license, anybody working under him, as long as he's within about 2 miles of where they're spraying, can spray. All he has to do is fill out a form on page 8 of the manual. Now, this is according to the Department of Agriculture. You can call them and verify it. Jim, you can call them and verify it. But I'm looking, because I see it every day, Washington Street, the weeds are growing again. And we've been there how many times this year with weed whackers and brooms and shovels, cutting them, shoveling them up, hauling them out. Spray one time, we've done it. And the other thing that, it's in an alley. We have an honor roll of people who served in World War II, next to the Strat building there, right between 4th and 5th Street. You get a whole wall of it. The weeds are horrible. Even a weed whacker would help. Let's just get rid of them. We stay decent because some people put in a lot of time and effort to go ahead and get that thing put up. Collecting money from people to get names on that thing. It looks horrible. And it really does not say anything for the city when we're going to get to that point, when we're honoring people who served in the war, and now this is what we need to look like after we put that up. A couple weeks ago, you passed an ordinance transferring somebody from, one of the departments at M&R, because you need additional manpower. Somebody tell me, why have we not gone to a 4-day trash pickup and taken those 12 people and moved them into M&R or Parks and Recreation to do some of the work that needs to be done on that 5th day? And if you amend your ordinance, redefine sanitation, you can go ahead and pay them out of the sanitation fund, as opposed to leaving it as a restricted thing. And if all I ever hear is, oh, the state auditor is going to come in and do an audit, they're going to make a finding. No, just because the state auditor says you can't do it doesn't mean you can't do it. They may be wrong. I think cutting weeds, picking them up, is sanitation. It's looking beautiful. They've got it running well, it looks nice, but they do need some extra money. I know the city needs money, but you got one nice dime there that you can go ahead. It brings in people not only from Steubenville, but from all over the country. Go down there to the register, see who's down there. And I'm down there often on a Saturday morning, I see people coming in. They're from everywhere. They're from Texas, they're from California, they're from everywhere. And they walk through there because they've heard about it and they want to see it. Help them out. If you got one thing that you can go ahead and do that will go ahead and be a benefit to the city,
and at least have some shining light, that's it. And, you know, back in the 70s, I complained about the recreation department and the parks and playgrounds and how they were not maintained. Nothing's changed. Compare what we have and compare what they have, and there is no comparison whatsoever. We're struggling, the city is struggling to go ahead and take care of parks and recreation, trying to get the playgrounds taken care of, trying to get neighborhoods to go ahead and adopt a playground and do it, yet they still function and maintain what they have across the street. They need a little help. And for a little bit of money that you are getting by reducing that hotel motel tax to them is really doing a disservice to everybody. Nutcracker Village, as you proposed and put on one of the signs here, well, how about helping maintain Nutcracker Village? And Bob, you were instrumental in doing that, put it on there. If you want to call it a Nutcracker Village, that's fine. But help them have the money and the funds to go ahead and keep it looking as it should look. And it's just not being done, and it should be done. And I'm asking that you give that some consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Massio. Mr. Massio, you have a long and lengthy list of activities for the city of Steubenville. I'm not going to try to address them all, but I will.
We appreciate that.
In fact, that comment, I won't even address any of yours. Is there anyone else wishing to speak to city council on city business? Mr. Ford, state their name and address. Let's see if there's anything else in the public forum, Mr. Vermack.
City, Carmel, Antonio, 407 Lawson. Steubenville Hilltop Community Development Corporation would like to make a public announcement. We're having our fall litter pickup October 22nd. We're beginning at 11 a.m. in the morning. Those interested in getting a hand on Pleasant Heights will meet at Trinity East Hospital parking lot. Those interested in getting a hand on Lake Bell will meet in front of Roosevelt School. Again, it's at 11 a.m. Any small donation would be appreciated. As you know, we appreciate our volunteers and we offer them a small luncheon, a moderate luncheon out of appreciation. We're also asking folks who live on their blocks to, if they can't join us October 22nd, to do it on another day and place their pickup on a corner of any of their block, and a volunteer will go by and pick it up. We provide the gloves, we provide the bags, and that's all I need to say right now unless someone has a question.
And we also would like to ask your help, Councilman, whenever you run into any of the landlords, would you ask them if their tenants would pick up the litter that's around their places? I'll tell you, about 2 weeks ago, I rode on Pleasant Heights and I was sick. It's amazing how much litter is on that hilltop. We do this twice a year. We can't do it every month. So maybe if you want to impress upon them, we need their help to keep it clean on the hilltops.
Their tenants need reminded to look after litter. Litter is all of our business. Also, I'd like to say something about the students. They're awesome. The Franciscan students help us twice a year. We have a biannual agreement with them once in the spring and in the fall. Those kids are awesome, and I just wanted to mention them. They're really not kids, they're young adults, but
And Catholic Central Peak Club also gets involved.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, and I think it goes without saying how much the Steubenville Hilltop Group means to the both hilltops, but to our community. But maybe a great way to show the appreciation if some of the members of the Hilltop Group could attend what Mrs. Hahn brought up earlier up on campus, so you can meet and greet and talk to the students would be a great activity. Again, that's this coming Saturday from noon to 5. remind not only the tenants, but all of our citizens to pick up litter around their neighborhood. Thank you once again, and hopefully another successful October 22nd event for the cleanup of the hilltop. Is there anyone else wishing to speak to City Council on city business? Please come forward, state your name and address.
Kurt Wickham, 3903 Maple Way. Bring a little different perspective to some things here. Been a resident for over 20 years now. Previous to that, I was from a small town, and I started in a volunteer department in the city of Union. I had 16 years there. With the volunteer department, you never guaranteed how many people you have to work with in the fire department. Sometimes we had 2 guys, and we had no idea when anyone was bringing additional water, additional manpower, anything. And you're limited, very limited in what you can do, because simply pulling a hose in a building can get hung up on a porch, on a step, in a door. And with 1 or 2 people trying to do those things, it's very difficult to be successful. So we saved a lot of chimneys, a few foundations. A few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, News 9 recognized the Steubenville Fire Department for a 3-minute response time on average, which was better than the national average of 4. Mutual aid is not a guarantee, it's a request. Wintersville themselves have had problems with having volunteers, so they started staffing their departments. A lot of the departments try to staff somewhat in the volunteer organizations. The discussion has been about staffing and about money as well. There's 200 acres down there in the steel plant area that can be repurposed. Although nothing seems to be going on right now. Any industry or anything comes in no longer provides their own service protection like the mill did years ago, and they then went ahead and seemed to give it up to the local jurisdiction. So, and even recently, East Cleveland had gone through reduced staffing, and they had 5 firefighters injured when a roof collapsed on them. So I'm asking that in any way for everyone's safety in this community, that you try to keep the staffing the same or better as you can. And that's what I'm asking.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak to City Council on city business? Please come forward, state their name and address. If not, Mr. Bill Manley.
Yes, Mayor. First off, Doc, you're right. The strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and the threat. The fire department is the strength, and there's not a person on this council that criticizes the fire department. I'm a retired police officer, everybody knows that. And we were on Blue Flu, and I was in fire with Chief Bickerstaff at the time. There was nobody here but me and him, and we had a fire on 5th Street. And I wouldn't be a fireman twice the pay. I would rather get shot at or whatever than go in a house that's burned. It's a scary situation. I was at the Terra fire because some of the older guys, Matt, you, maybe not even you, Doc, in them days, I don't know if you were on or not, but anyway, it was 0 or maybe even colder. The lines were busted, firemen falling all over the place. I stayed outside with him in uniform and drug hoses with him with no gloves on. Walter Poole got buried by a roof that caved in up on the 2nd floor. I climbed the fire ladder. Rick Blair was running the ladder. I climbed the ladder because they didn't see Walter Poole. I'm yelling at him, he's over there. Rick wouldn't move the ladder, and I'm thinking in my head, why isn't he moving the ladder? Well, then he just yelled at me to get off the ladder, so I finally just got mad and got off the ladder. Well, he couldn't move the ladder because I was on the ladder. But I'm not a fireman. I don't know that. You know, I just seen Walter Poole. Anyway, he moved the ladder. So the question of name, there were 60 firemen in them days. When I first come on, I believe there were 60 firemen. The job's dangerous. When I had 10 years on the police department, there was 10 guys. I was the youngest guy. I had 10 years on a job. There was 10 guys laid off. And maybe Matt, I don't know if you guys remember firemen being laid off. I'm not sure. That's not, we don't want to lay anybody off. The job's dangerous. If you had 100 guys, somebody can get killed. You know that as well as I know it. Policemen, the same thing. When you go on a call, we could have 100 policemen. If I go on a call by myself and a guy shoots me, I'm dead. Got to try to balance and get some of the weaknesses. Now, that's the strength. The weakness, police department a little bit. We don't have a lot of manpower and 3 guys working sometimes. I don't want to elaborate too much with the manpower for the police. But there's a problem there with the manpower and vacation. I hear vacation all the time. These guys got so much vacation, and that's right. And I had 8 weeks vacation when I left. The reason why I had 8 weeks